Hello, and thank you for joining us for this edition of Digium Live. I am your host, Matthew Hilton. Today I am joined by Matthew Fredrickson of our Asterisk team.
Hi.
And Matthew, for those that do not know you, what is your official title here at Digium?
All right, so I actually am the Asterisk open source project lead, so I'm in charge of making sure that the code and that goes into Asterisk is good, and the features that go in are good, and they're stable and things like that. I also work with the community, the Asterisk community, learning more about their use cases that they in which they utilize Asterisk, and try to do a better job of steering the engineers here at Digium and in other places in the right direction as far as like meeting those needs and things like that.
Excellent. So most of our audience probably knows you, or at least is familiar with you to some degree. And I've asked you down here today because we had a pretty big announcement last week at IT, or a couple weeks ago at IT Expo down in Florida, and we announced a new series of phones specifically for Asterisk. So those would be the A20, A22, A25, and A30 value line phones for Asterisk. And I asked you here to tell our audience a little bit about them.
Sure. All right. So that's a big pile of model numbers that you listed there. Yeah. But these phones are pretty neat. Actually, they're targeted towards, and it's more of an Asterisk first approach in terms of compatibility and design interoperability and things like that. And so they have like the Asterisk logo on them and things like that. So they're kind of definitely an Asterisk targeted phone. But the A20 and the A22, they're sort of like the young brother phone, right? They're the young child of the family. They're a good entry-level starter phone. They've got like 2-line registration. Actually, all the phones have full color displays, which is kind of neat. The only difference I would say between the 20 and the 22, which I think they essentially look the same, is the 20 is 10100 Ethernet and the 22 is gigabit Ethernet, which if that's important for your network, then you should probably get a 22.
Sure. Yeah. So this is a great entry-level phone for anybody that's looking for an inexpensive option to pair with their Asterisk PBX. And pricing on this starts fairly inexpensively?
Yeah, it's my understanding that it's 20 is somewhere around $59 and the 22 is about $89. So, if you want to pay that premium for gigabit, go for it.
Yeah, of course.
Or if you need it or whatever.
But yeah. So
these are 100. That's a good price.
So good compatibility with Asterisk, obviously, because they're designed for Asterisk. Similar to our D series phones, but kind of more budget-minded.
That's right. This is trying to target customers that maybe would like something that works well with Asterisk, but perhaps can't budget in the kind of the premium quality features or higher quality features we have in our D phones.
It's a good point. And so obviously going up from the A20 and A22, we have our next phone, which is the A25.
That's right.
Which again is also very cost conscious. But what's the difference between an A22, A22, and an A25? So
this is a very good question. So if you'll notice on the 25, there's like 2 displays there. So they decided to give you a little bit more real estate, like for these are for line keys and things like that, so you can have like up to 5 or 6 line keys or whatever there. Both the displays are full color, so you don't have some little black and white down here, secondary display. It's a full color display, and so you can obviously there's a lot more you can do with full color than you can without full color, and so in terms of a rich user experience. There's quite a number of contacts that are accessible from the phone and things like that. And obviously, this one starts off with gigabit support, so that's kind of nice. That's built into the price point.
Right, and the price point being?
It's my understanding it's $119.
Yeah. So again, very moderate price for a fairly feature-rich phone, even though this is our budget series. And then, of course, we have our higher end, which is still budget-friendly, which is the A30 phone. This is kind of the biggest of the trio. And you want to give us a little bit of information about the A30?
Sure. If you notice on this one, there's actually a single display here, but the display is tremendously bigger. So instead of having 2 displays, one for the line keys and one for interoperating with the phone, you've got enough real estate up on the main display that you can have all the line keys as part of your main user interaction experience there. So you don't have to like move your hands away from things or move them to different places or whatever, like in terms of like how you interact with the phone. So that's kind of convenient, I guess, in terms of keeping your control in the same spot. In terms of differences, you can access a lot more contacts from this phone. It's a bigger phone. You've got actually, there are 6-line registrations on this one. I think the other one had 4-line registrations, but this one has 6. I might have misspoke earlier. I apologize for that.
That's all right.
So it's a bigger phone, and there's a few more features involved there.
And of course, all of our phones feature the soft keys on the bottom to help you work through applications and features that you might want to use, as well as kind of the standard buttons that you'd expect, speakerphone and all that.
That's right.
So, so the A30 phone is the top of the line executive cost-conscious model. MSRP starts around...
I think it's 169.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
So again, great value for the price with a nice big screen, very, very well. Not sure how it's coming out on the camera, if you can see it, if we've got some glare, but really, really high quality screens on all three of these models.
That's right, yeah.
Absolutely. All right, Matthew, well, thank you very much for taking the time to talk about these new phones with our audience here. I think that's going to do it for this edition of Digium Live. If anybody would like to see more information on these phones, they can visit digium.com. Or asterisk.org, and you can get all the information about the A-series phones as well as our D-series phones, which are also available for Asterisk and Switchvox.
And just remember, from a selfish standpoint, when you buy Asterisk and Digium phones, you help support the project. Obviously, everybody has to keep business things first, and have to, if you're budget conscious, you got to vote with your dollars sometimes. But if you have room to vote in terms of supporting the project, when you buy these phones, it helps us to keep developing and working on Asterisk and making a better product. So we appreciate it.
And that's a great point, and that's something that we've seen time and time again about the Asterisk community coming together to support the project, whether it's with new phones or new modules, whatever the case may be. So it's a great point, Matt. All right, well, thank you for watching today's episode of Digium Live, and we will see you next time for our next video.